here we go. We have our Hanzo. And is this mostly Hanzo, or is there also going to be some Kree here?
Honestly, it's Hanzo like the first round, and then I switch off to like other people on the on defense.
Okay, Hanzo and some
Uh,
mystery heroes. Got it.
yeah, gotcha. Yeah,
Got it.
a little bit of a weird game for me, but kind of just average gameplay for me. But
Okay.
uh,
How are these Sonic arrows going to look?
huh? I didn't even think about that.
Okay. Okay.
We'll see. I don't know. Some good, some bad. The usual.
Okay. I'd like trending upwards to be our direction. You know, they're like
Yeah, yeah. I haven't been honestly focusing on them too much. There's other things that I'm like working on, but yeah,
sure,
you're right.
sure.
I should be working on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I just want to get some healing before I go fully in.
Yeah, no, I get it.
Yeah.
Don't love the leap there, but you know it's pretty safe. You know that there's a Torb turret. You heard it. That's okay. Right. Yep. Okay. You did your job. You had Storm there at the end, which I'm a little surprised you didn't pop after that. So here you are. You go for that. That's obviously not a perfect shot, but you're trying to keep her baited so that your Reaper can get in there, so I can respect that. And then you're here. And then, usually we'd be going, hey, let me pop Storm. Even, just because I'm not getting out of this. But that's okay. No big.
Yeah. I will say, like, I wasn't in voice chat. I wasn't talking in voice chat, but my team was, and
Okay.
they hated this turret, and I'm guessing it's my job to get rid of that turret.
It is.
Right?
It is. It's
Yeah.
basically on you and Zen to get rid of that turret. And you'll be
I
able to
probably
take
failed them.
angles to do it more. Okay. I'd probably want this to be like, you sent this like center mass of the sign, which tells you
Yeah.
if there's someone behind the sign, which is cool. But I'd probably want this at like the bottom of the sign, because you'll still get everyone behind the sign, but you'll get a little more information of like what's here by Mega, because Mega's a pretty common place, right? So you won't
Yeah.
actually get that deep, but you want to sort of be like, let's let's try and get a little more information out of it. Like this is a good place to know things about, but can we compromise and get some info about down here too, more than just the ash right there? That would be good.
Okay.
Okay. So how many of your teammates are alive?
I don't even know,
Not
honestly.
very, not very many.
Yeah.
Not very many. So like we look at this.
Okay. Oh, yeah, it's just one, right? Or yeah, it's
Yeah,
just
yeah, yeah. You just lost two teammates, and you're looking at this, and it's like, you didn't peek this with an arrow charge. You didn't like charge your arrow here and then peek and fire. You peeked out into the open and went, I wonder what I'm gonna do. Well, it's just me, or just me and Anna out here. Let me charge up a
yeah.
shot to fight at this lamp. Again, if your first shot, they don't know you're here. You want to peek into a 1v6, a 2v6 when they don't know you're there. You have one shot potential as Hanzo. You get away with that a little more with heroes than other heroes when they don't know that you're there. But these guys know that you're here right now. Or they don't know that you're here yet. Now they know that you're here. And now they're going to start shooting at you, and like your first arrow was never going to do anything because they had the lamp up. So it's like just don't even
Yeah.
bother is where we are. This is all risk, no chance of reward. Flame your Anna for wasting a grenade. I'm kidding. Don't do that. Why are we shooting her in the... Okay. I don't know why our crosshair's down there, but okay. Sure. I still don't really like this. Like, I get what you're doing. You're going here, and you're saying, oh, I want this. I want this so my Reaper can't have it, is sort of what you're doing. What if he
Yeah,
grabbed
I
that?
did kind of yoink that from him.
Right. Well, he'll be okay without it. Like, Anna's probably going to get him. But, like, what if he had grabbed that while you'd committed to your leap? Because that was doable with his Wraith. And then, oh, shoot, I'm standing here with 50 health. But even with full health from the Mega, this is, again, you're aggressively jumping into an enemy sight line that they're already looking down. Like they're already looking this way because they were already shooting at your Reaper.
Right.
I just don't want that. If you'd gone up here, sure. If you'd gone over here, sure. If you'd been like, I'm going to go up here and just fight this Orisa repeatedly because we need this, sure. But like, I'm going to jump into a sight line that they're already holding, no. Why aren't you already charging your arrow? Like you can open these angles. You don't need to look and then charge your arrow. You follow what I'm saying? You can charge your own peak even though it causes you to walk a little slower in some of these situations. Like you sort of know that they're looking down the cave right here, and now you're just having to spend extra time looking around.
Yeah. So I had it charged, and then I was like, well, I'm still walking to where I want to be, so
Sure.
I uncharged it, and then I just got the timing off there on that charge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so your crosshair should be higher than this right now because you see your crosshair is like pointing at the ground, and that's not where someone is going to show up. You want to have your crosshair up by their head, or perhaps even a little higher than your head, and then bring it down as the charge gets better if you end up firing. Because you want to be like, hey, I don't want to shoot at this. I want to shoot at their head or at their neck or at least center mass, and this is just too low.
I need healing. See through the dragons.
Nice. And like, this isn't going to be wild, but the reason this works is you do the first one there. It's nice how that works. And you see, now you knew exactly where she was because of the sonic arrow, and you see, we're going to go through this.
See through the dragon's eyes.
You brought your crosshair right to where her head was, and there's no reason that that can't have always been the case, right? Like even if you don't have the sonic arrow, you know that that's where you expect someone to be standing, and you know what the head height looks like. Like it might need to be a little higher because you might think that they're back here, in which case their head will be a little higher. But generally, we want our crosshair as we peek corners on Hanzo to be at what is going to be their head or their neck height, because that's what we're looking to do. We're looking to get headshots. We're looking to go, hey, let's do this. We open the angle and release the arrow that we've pre-charged.
Yeah.
Which is obviously much easier with the sonic arrow. Okay. Okay. I don't love leaping up this. I'd rather have the leap to get out. Like, I like walking up this, and now I'd like to be charging your arrow.
So this part, I didn't know what exactly to shoot at. I was like stuck between the supercharger and Orisa.
Yeah. So you would love to take care of the supercharger, but she's not going to let you, and you just have to accept that her body is not going to let you break that supercharger, so you might as well headshot her. Like, you look at this and go, well, I can't.
Yeah.
I want to break the supercharger, but if she's physically not going to let me, and I don't have a cleave like a Reinhardt or a Winston or something to hit it anyway, I'm just going to have to eliminate her first, and I better get this headshot, because I'm not going to be able to get headshots after she fortifies. Yeah. Yeah. Sure would be nice to have potentially had your leap and be able to go, and, make them drag this a little further. But heck.
Yeah.
Or we could have thought about dragoning it, but different option. You do have a Zarya, so we'll just wait. Okay, no.
Okay.
If you were gonna dragon, you should have dragoned last time. Now the Zarya is closer still. Like, when you have a Zarya, it's usually going to be worth it to let the combo happen. Like, if you really are like, hey, the Zarya's only at 40% ult charge and I have dragon, sure, go for it. But she's hanging out at 70-80% ult charge when you get your dragon, you're going to want to combo it, because Dragon Strike is it's not like the worst ult in the world, but it's an ult that we've probably talked about. Hey, you have to get like split value out of it. You have to do things like this, make them move away. You know, like getting them to run away from their supercharger, their turret. That could have value. Don't get me wrong, but it's so much better as a combo to make that grab almost a guaranteed fight win. That
100%.
okay.
I always try to grab with combo with Zarya, but I just really wanted this Orisa dead.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
really wanted her.
So predictable.
Really?
What's that?
So predictable.
There was a
What?
turret right there.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just like, why do you hate your team so much?
I know. I should have.
Especially because like you're having to shoot these guys through their window when you could just be like, nah, I'm gonna stand out of line of sight of the window and break this turret. Like I don't want to fight them.
I'm
I don't
like
want to
buddy
shoot.
with the turret right now.
Right? It's like we're teammates, right?
Yeah, I should have definitely killed that.
I will not be.
That turret's still getting kills.
Oh yeah. We got the turret Zen. Okay. Okay, and again, look at where your crosshair is. Can that hit anyone? Okay. And then you release your first shot at Orisa's waist, which is, you know, perhaps not ideal.
Need healing.
I don't know what that was. I don't know. Yeah, yep. I'm aiming at his feet.
You see it! You see it! But you know, at least he's wearing shoes. So.
I don't know if this helps, but I did change my sensitivity just before this game, trying something new out. But so I'm a little off.
Sure. That excuse will work for now. Okay.
By the dragon.
That's not a sonic arrow. It's just not. That could be a regular arrow, but yeah. I don't even think it would have been a great regular arrow, but heck. Line of sight it, good. Still not sure about that Sonic. That habit isn't completely gone.
No, it's not.
It's better, but it's not completely gone. Okay, you're gonna go take your angle. You should just be expecting to try to win this fight with Grav Drag, whether it's called or not.
By the dragon.
Activating self-destruct sequence.
I know. It works.
You didn't like that?
Well, like, I know, and it works, and it's not like, oh, this is a throw. It's not. This is fine. I just feel bad for our Zarya that's been, you know, now holding her grab while you catch up on this. Okay. Like, in a normal game, great dragon. In this game, not wrong, but... Yeah, not wrong. I don't think they're gonna come back and give you shots. I say as they come back and give you shots. Oh my goodness, what is wrong with these people?
We're in mid Plat right now.
Yeah, fair enough.
Well, actually, my teammates were diamonds, so I have no idea what the other people were. Yeah, that turret's still there. And
Yeah, you just don't care about those remotely.
See through the dragon's eyes.
This will heal you. Enemy turret within my sight.
And you
Finally
just
finish
stare
him
at
off.
it. Yeah.
Enemy turret destroyed.
Turret's generally not the last thing you take down in fights, generally.
Blocked by the dragon.
My Zenyatta was moving payload, but he wasn't.
It's okay. Take angle.
Is true.
Yeah.
walk
no
me
cover.
through that leap.
Go back for a second. Let me see
Sure.
it again.
Sure.
Okay.
Narissa's gone. I'm good. I'm good with you
Okay.
being here.
Yep. Saw the Sigma. I just want to dodge a shot. Basically, that's it.
Okay. Okay. You
Could have went back
dodged.
there. Yeah.
Yeah, like we want to get back here where we're then gonna have cover. Here, you're just like, well, it's okay because if they pressure me again, I will just get eliminated. Like there's nowhere you can go, and you don't have leap. Whereas if you
Yeah.
use your dodge to get back here, or even if you just walk back here, you now have the option to open and close cover. You know, you have the option to go, let me charge up a shot, peek, throw the shot, close the angle. Let me, peek with a sonic arrow, throw it up there, etc. Like you have options if you play to your cover here. But okay.
Yeah. That would have been a lot better.
That's
I do make my way over there.
Sonic arrow, you do, and I appreciate that. And you're trying to take her. Oh, the turret took you down. I'm shocked. So I wonder if you could have just like closed the angle on the entire enemy team and shot at the turret and no danger whatsoever. Like you could have been like,
Yeah.
instead of trying to fight 4 people at once, I'm gonna fight just the turret. And by I wonder, I mean yes, you could have.
Yes. Yeah.
But hey, at least the arrow got the revenge
That
limb
turret's
there.
still going, man.
Yeah.
We save it for last.
You do. You can't stagger the turret, just a heads up.
Oh, that's great.
Group up here. Group up with me.
Join with me.
Group up. The enemy is here.
See that which is
I got you now.
unseen.
You do. I don't know about that one being a Sonic, okay, but okay.
Enemy turrets destroyed.
Gonna get some value out of it though. Oh yeah. You just gonna leap into the middle of the lane?
Yes, sir.
Let's not do that in the future. We can drop if we want and shoot here, but we don't need to see all 5 of them. Seeing one of them is plenty.
I'm getting ready for the dragon. Big plays, man.
Yeah.
Quintuple kill. Enemy turret within my sight.
Okay. You
Okay.
got it. You got it. I'll just let it be.
That'll do. That'll do.
Never surrender.
I'm sorry.
The payload is approaching its destination.
See through the dragon's eyes.
60 seconds remaining.
Yeah, so that was too many things that you didn't want to shoot at. So here you are.
Approaching its
Yeah.
destination.
You've got a deflecting Genji. We don't really like that.
See through the
Now that's
dragon's
over at least when you throw
eyes.
this. Now there's a shifting Sigma.
60 seconds remaining.
But why is this so difficult? Why does it feel like there aren't any good targets for you to shoot at right now? Here, let's rewind. Because
The payload is approaching its destination.
why does it feel like there's nothing I want to shoot at? Why does it feel that way?
For me, why is there nothing good to shoot at from this angle?
Yes. Well, you've answered the question. Yes, it's from this
Fr-
angle.
From this angle, yeah.
Right, exactly. It's because your whole team is threatening from this angle, so these guys are going, well, we can get cover
Yeah.
against this angle. We can do that. If you go, no, I'm quite good. I'm going to play from up here. Oh, the world is your oyster. You can see it all.
I see, yeah. Okay.
60 seconds remaining.
Right idea. And it was even pretty much at head height. Now it's not, but it was for a moment. You're going to do it. Fine. You're going to get the mini on the way or save it for later? Save it for later.
Ahead.
Okay. Hanzo over shielded turret.
Double shield, yeah.
You still just don't like this health pack. You're just like, nope, I turn my nose up at you and walk right by.
Yeah, didn't even think about it.
Okay, so
Use caution.
You don't like this angle.
I probably would have just had you go this way. Like, you're a little too with your team, and you've already been healed up. I'd have just said, hey, let's go challenge over here. But I don't hate it. It's not as big a deal as some of the others.
30 seconds remaining.
You're going to turn around for that immediately? Yep. I was going to say, you just popped Sonic. I don't know if he has Deflect or not. Yeah. So, generally in our Genji matchup,
30 seconds
Yeah.
remaining.
we're looking at this. He just used dash, and he didn't get in the limb, so you want to turn and fight him. You've got good shots, even though you're at half health. This duel is in a fine spot, and it's not even a duel because he's in a rough place. Shooting at him is right. Storm arrowing isn't necessarily right, because he is going to, after he takes damage, he is very likely to pop deflect after he takes,
Right.
you know, a meaningful hit from you. And then you have to wait out his deflect or you shoot yourself. And you don't want to wait out his deflect with your storm arrow up, because you won't have time to do meaningful storm arrow. Yeah.
I am not deterred.
10 seconds.
Okay.
Overtime.
Why are you here? So you're Tracer. You have plenty of people already pushing this payload. There's 5 people in this payload. Like, as soon as that person was limited, you should have already been thinking about, let me go take a different angle. Let me go on the outside. I'm a flanker. Let me
Yeah.
get out here, etc. Go ahead.
I was doing that. I guess I just took a different path. I just went straight down the line. Like, I get behind her.
Okay. Yeah, but by going this way, you're more likely to take some chip damage on the way, plus you're potentially forcing a blink early. But yes, I'm glad that you do eventually get there. I don't love that blink movement. I don't love that blink movement at all. You don't generally want to use blinks to move you around when you're safe. Like, when there's no enemies that can see you because they're all in their spawn room, you generally prefer not to use blinks unless you know that you're not going to have to deal with opponents before those blinks regenerate. And
Initiating
again, that was the
match.
end of the round. You, of course, don't get punished for that, but
Okay.
things to keep in mind.
Good to know. Good to know.
And-
So I think I bring out McCree or Reaper. Okay.
Okay, the Reaper. The Reaper.
30 seconds.
I used to love Reaper. He was my first character, and then I just
Sure.
kind of stopped playing him.
All good.
I don't think I play him much, but any tips would be great.
Sure, sure.
Yeah.
Attackers incoming.
Walk at the enemies 1v6 and eliminate them all. No, I'm
Stop
kidding.
the payload.
So the first thing we could already be saying is, do enemies show up at this height?
No.
There you
I guess
go.
I'm just looking down at nothing.
Well, you could look down at your teammates, but that's a quick check on where your teammates are. You want to be
Yeah,
resting your
yeah.
crosshairs because, like, your first shot is really powerful as Reaper. If you're just holding your shotguns up like this and someone walks here, like, oh, there goes 3/4 of my health, if not all my health. Like, that's really pretty important. You don't want to give them chance to round the corner and flash you. You want them to round the corner and instantly get to lead it. So,
Right,
you
yeah.
know, crosshair placement. And I know it's harder to aim on console. It's harder to, like, get it just right.
Well-
But between fights, it's not that hard to get it just right.
Yeah, this was just a bad game for crosshair placement. Usually don't have much problem with it.
Okay, okay. Yeah, so we're slow on this diva. Shift. Okay, this isn't a good place for your Wraith Tent because she can follow this. She
Yeah.
can very reasonably go, no, it's worth it, and shift in, finish you, and still end her shift up here, and be totally happy. That didn't cost her anything. That wasn't terribly dangerous. The only real danger is, hey, did she get rocked and her shift canceled on the way in? So, like, this wasn't a good place. And you see, you wasted time. Like, you wasted time with uncertainty here. You go, okay, I'm fighting you. I'm fighting you. I hit this. I'm turning around. I'm looking. I'm doing this. Do I want to go back here? I have time to do that. Do I want to go in here? What do I want
Yeah,
to do? And you just sort of go,
undecisive.
exactly. So you should sort of treat Wraith, even though it's this powerful invulnerability cooldown, you should sort of know, where am I going to go with this Wraith? You should always sort of know before you press the button, because you should literally just always know, as the battle shield is shifting, where am I expecting to go if I press Wraith right now? Where am I expecting to go if I press Wraith right now? Where am I expecting to go if I press Wraith right now? And you might change your mind mid-Wraith every once in a while, but it's one of those things that should constantly be updating in your mind based on the status of the battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
This is my curse. From the shadows.
Because this is where enemies show up. That's okay.
Down.
Okay. You can't really stay this close to him anymore. And after the changes, you don't want to. So you just used Wraith. This is okay. Please stop walking closer. With how Reaper's shotguns have been changed a couple times now, you're doing full damage to his shields, and really you'd be doing full damage to him, effectively. I mean, not really full damage, but to his shields you are doing full damage here. But you'd be doing plenty good enough damage to him at this instance. We don't need to keep getting closer, because now we're threatening hammer range, and we've already
Yeah.
used our shift. So it's like, wait a second, they've kept making Reaper's range better. I might as well just take advantage of that.
I'm sorry.
I mean, like,
Hey,
here, let me
shortcuts.
let me shout to the world that has a widow what I'm doing, instead of just being like, maybe I'll just hop up on this rock, hop up here and walk. Like, maybe we don't
Using
do
my
this one.
character to his fullest ability.
If you wanted a Wraith form, your Wraith form was over into this cave where you had cover the whole time. Or not Wraith form, if you wanted a Shadow Step.
I'm taking the high ground.
You're lucky she's Plat.
Yeah. She might have been diamond. There's some diamonds on the team. So.
Okay.
From the shadows.
It was kind of safe because your ball went in. Why? Here you are. I don't think anything left on the board is terribly threatening to you. Like, you just saw Bash came out. This is a Moira. This is a Brig. What is causing you to Wraith? I don't care that she hit you. I still don't care. Like, she can't do very good damage. None of these guys can do good enough damage to you, except the Reinhardt, for me to be that worried. Now, the Reinhardt might be a problem, because this is on the way, but I would have said greed this Wraith harder, just based on the incoming damage.
Okay.
Living dangerously, I see. You remember the call mech would have eliminated you now, but hey.
Yeah, that's happened quite a bit recently. Usually with sneaky divas, like they sneak up behind you.
Sneak up behind you with a troll move, but hey. Okay.
My apologies.
It's okay. What is your composition? You have the Zen and a Moira. You'll get a bubble maybe. Okay. Don't walk out early. Good. Still don't like where you're looking with your crosshair. Like, you can check on your team like this. That's fine.
I'm sorry.
Okay. Do you know if Zarya has bubble?
No, I didn't. Okay.
And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. Okay. Do you know if Zarya has bubble? No, I didn't. Okay. And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. And you aren't on comms this game, right? Okay. And you aren't on comms this game
There's like some people talking. I wasn't voice chatting though.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, we all knew this was coming, and this is amazing if you get a bubble.
Double kill.
And works even if you don't, I suppose. I mean, I don't know if, like, the D.Va isn't in mech, so doesn't have defense matrix, so that's good. I just don't know if you're gonna get flashed, but his reaction's bad, or he didn't have it. Okay.
You have some. My aim is unerring.
The grave
That's disappointing.
just
Watching the cart move after that.
Yep. I was a little confused, but I saw the McCree killed quite a bit of us. So.
Payload has reached the checkpoint.
Okay, but do we need to keep marking the deflecting Genji, or can we flick over and shoot the McCree or the Rhine Shield? It's not the first time you've shot at him back this clearly broken.
It's not dead until it's dead.
Little
Hey, yeah,
surprised.
the high noon got me. I didn't think it would.
I didn't think it would either. Okay, you're just really deciding that you want the, what do you call it?
Zenyatta.
You know, if you hadn't jumped and you'd instead crouched, it almost certainly wouldn't have.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Like, I mean, we can go back from his perspective just to...
It's the jump, yeah.
Yeah.
draw.
Yeah, it's literally the...
Double kill.
Ouch. Ouch. You didn't even have to crouch. It's literally the jump. You've been
Yeah.
caught for a while. Okay.
Back
I
in the
will not
saddle
be
again.
denied.
Mm-hmm.
My apologies.
Okay.
Crosshair.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got it.
I'm sorry.
I thought I could just pause the game at
Yeah.
random times, and you're like, You're hanging a little more in the open than you need to here. Like, it's not incredibly bad, but here we are. Sure. Okay. But now why are you drifting left? Why are you drifting left? Why are you drifting now back? Yeah. Turn. She's gonna pay attention to you. Okay.
Don't move.
Well, that was
She
ambitious.
left.
She didn't leave. She never came that close. She was never likely to, but okay. On the flip side, you know, she doesn't have boosters for like a second, maybe? No, they're already back. Okay. That's fine.
Time.
That's fine. I'd have done it too. Can't really finish her. Now you have flash, so you're just gonna trade aggressively. Fine.
Easy.
Yeah, 5 HP. 4 more than you needed.
I'm McCree buff, man. 25 health.
Yeah, why is this a shot rather than a fan?
Don't know.
Could be a fan, or could be
be.
a headshot. Like, you're pretty safe, though, if you want to fan this. But, well, you know, you could also just not get hit by that. Like, that's an option.
Yeah, I should have. I
You
mean,
just-
the fire strike is pretty slow. I should have been able to dodge that.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's one of the things
Yeah.
where you had cover before. Like you had partial cover before he even starts here. Okay. Okay. You're here. You have partial cover. Like 40% of your screen is covered by cover. He's winding up a fire strike. That's clearly he's on. That's the fire strike.
Yep.
Yeah, that's a fire strike. 40% of your screen is covered with cover. Let's make it 80% and we'll be fine. Nope, too late. Too late. Yeah,
Yeah.
all good.
Well, now.
Cheers, love. The cavalry's here.
Okay.
Kind of wish I didn't switch to Tracer here. I thought, like,
You thought you had
Fight
another
with him.
fight on second?
yeah.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, I want you to be a little faster on this trigger discipline on Genji because he was always going to use deflect here. So I don't mind that you shoot at him, but let's go here. Half speed, just to exaggerate it. Yes, that was half speed, but it was a fair amount of continued shooting at him. You emptied your clip. And you can be better with your trigger discipline if you just mentally sort of note, wait, I'm going to run into deflect at some point. I want to be light on the trigger until I've got it out. Right idea.
Group up with me.
Too early, too early, too early, too early.
Yeah, no teammates.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, hi, McCree.
Yeah. And this is, again, all just downstream of you engage too early.
Justice ain't gonna
Oh, hi,
dispense
McCree. Familiar face. Why?
Why, what? What do you see?
So I'm looking at this. I see it. I see. Do you have any great shots right now?
Probably not.
Right. So, like, you could roll forward like you do, but just like, it's really not going to take you much longer at all to get up here,
yeah.
and this is just going to be way better. Like, if it was going to take you an eternity to get up here, sure, don't, but you don't have any shots here. You're not doing anything. Go high ground. Go high ground. Now you have shots, but they're shots from the same angle as your team. Your team's in worse shape, and now you're like, oh, shoot, I might have wished I hadn't used that roll because we're about to get snowballed. Whereas you'd have just been like, oh, no, I'm calmly taking this. Don't even need to use my roll. I'll have my roll to get out, and now let me just shoot from here. Oh, you guys are too many? Maybe I'll back up and wait here, and then go back up when my team comes back.
Yeah.
Why did we not just close the angle? Why did we drift back into open? Oh, we like fire strikes.
Yeah. They got my attention. Yeah, that was bad. That was real bad.
Yep. So we just want to make sure, we're thinking about our angles, we're thinking about our engagement timing, we're thinking about our cover. And I can see there's windows of cover. Okay, we just are playing hero roulette now. Okay, go get Zen. Moira, interesting choice. That was oh, you don't have it, never mind. Okay. This isn't a real fight, so I don't care.
Back to work.
Generally don't want to recall when a blink will do. You want to actually get the health benefit out of that recall.
Yeah.
Nice knowing you. Like we don't challenge him head on. We go around the outside, Okay, so like you didn't get eliminated, but how many blinks did you just use to do this?
Well, I have 0 left, so
Right. So here we are.
Feeling deja vu.
You have 3 blinks. You we'll pretend we'll call that half a blink, rounding. That's 1 blink because you're terrified of the McCree. 1.5 now. They're not even looking at you yet, but you're scared, so you use 2. So we're calling that 2.5 blinks of use here, which is like, wait a second, 2.5 blinks in the span of a second? Maybe a second and a
yeah.
quarter? That's
Bad
not
blink
going to work.
management.
Yeah. Well, it's just like, and that's because, well, this blink wasn't necessary yet, but the reason you felt this was necessary is because you're trying to pressure this from straight on as Tracer. And Tracer can't win playing straight on into these things. Tracer needs the edge of, no, you were looking this way when I came in from here, when I came in from here. Or, if she's chasing someone down the main, like in a straight line like that, it's because they're already retreating. It's because she's doing cleanup. You just don't like this mini at all.
Would have been useful. Yeah.
Okay.
Round 2. Complete.
Yeah, Tracer's not my strong point. I wish
okay.
it was. I love Tracer.
Oh yeah, no, I mean, I think there's
I
very
played against one today that was really annoying. So
Tracer is the, has been an amazing carry hero.
Honor, redemption.
Definitely not a bad one to be good at, but the people who invested in her are now very good at her, so it's hard to catch up by the same token.
Attackers incoming in 30 seconds.
Well,
also, I play her on console. I don't know if that has anything to do. If it's better or worse to play her on console.
In some ways it's worse because you can't do the 180 blink through stuff the same way that normal people will. On the other hand, other people's aim isn't as good either. So like that makes her blinks in some ways more powerful because they tend to be a little worse at reacquiring her. So there's a bit of a give and take on it.
All right.
you're welcome. Bitte, you're welcome.
5.
Oh, the Reaper's back.
Back. This is overtime. Yeah.
Attackers incoming.
I think they asked me to go Reaper here. That's why I did it.
Escort the main.
Death comes for all.
I hear the diva. I understand why your crosshairs are low because you're thinking I'm going to turn and shoot down here. I'm going to be shooting down here in a
Yeah.
second. This is the first threat, and the odds are pretty decent that something's going to be here. And so what you do is you'd actually have your crosshair up here for the turn, and then you'd adjust it back down because you're still you can't, when you get here, you can't shoot at those guys yet, or you're not going to shoot at them yet. So it makes sense to go, hey, my crosshair starts here and I adjust to there as I keep going type thing, but that's okay. Okay. Oh. Turn and shoot at your hog's target.
What did you want from me?
Okay, so
Yeah.
let's watch how this goes. You just heard and saw your hog throw that. You didn't see what he connected with, but you heard that he connected, and if he got some targets, he might be able to one-shot them. If he got Diva, he can't one-shot it, and he needs your help. And wouldn't it be great to break her mech? And even if he can one-shot it, and even if Mercy should boost him, so he should reliably be able to one-shot basically anything he pulls except for Diva or Sigma, it's still worth it to flick back and take the shot at whatever he pulls in. Especially because what ends up happening is this, and that would have been, Diva comes up, etc. Diva coming up was always somewhat likely. We would like to, instantly delete this and then start working on the Diva. But that didn't happen. There we go. You're just getting... Okay. I'd have liked to delay that just a tiny bit more on that first shot, because as soon as you shoot, him and his team were going to react, and no one knew you were there yet. And I think you could have done that in 2 shots instead of 3 if you held the first shot just for a moment. Okay, was nice. Yeah. So here's the thing. If you understand the flow of the battle a little bit, your team was right here pushing cart. So I don't want to force this fight, especially if my team's not getting aggressive. I'm just going to leave. I'm going to leave and make them keep chasing me. If you guys are going to chase me around the map and eventually catch me, that's fine. The cart is moving type thing.
Okay.
Get my revenge.
Heroes never die.
Taking this fight with the Discord. Get it? Why? Does this feel like where you should be?
No.
I get that there's a Valk, but just walk up here. You got control. You got control of this. You want to fight on short sight lines, not long ones. So you walk up here, and once you get up to here, the Valk will chain to you, and it'll be fine. And you'll have an angle, and you will have abused short sight lines on the way up, not long ones. And the Discord might have fallen off. It's a little dicey. Yeah.
So focus on that Sigma. Probably should have been on the Moira or something.
Well, not just that. Like, I don't really care about the Sigma. My care is that you're doing this. You're like going hyper aggressive like this, and you don't have Wraith anymore. You used Wraith to get, you went here, did this. You're now going out here. You're positioned here without Wraith. Maybe if you got into like here, but honestly, I just don't want to. I just want to be like, nope, I have a Reinhardt. I'm going to let my Reinhardt make some space for me, and I'm going to push up with my Reinhardt. And then maybe I'll start taking angles. Maybe I'll go do stuff like this after my Reinhardt pushes up. But I don't want to push up in front of my Reinhardt like this when I'm still not like immediately on top of all the targets I want. Like, you are the lead target for them to shoot at, and I don't really want that. Like, yes, there's Valk going, but use your Reinhardt to get in. Because now you're literally in the middle of the enemy concave. The enemy have created a concave just for you, discorded with no Wraith available. It's a foregone conclusion that you're eliminated. And it's not about target selection at all. It's about you just can't be there.
This is not your time. What are you doing?
I don't think you wanted that one. Oh, it's your nemesis!
There he is.
Oh, you got him. Don't you dare. You're going to.
Dude.
Oh my goodness. Just do me a favor and walk off the edge for me. That's
Not until I kill that soldier. Then I'll die. Oh, I didn't even get him. Damn.
Okay. So this is again one of those. I know we've talked about how Reaper's range has been buffed, and it has. Don't get me wrong, and that lets you more versatile.
A little bit longer.
Just get a little bit closer, right? And also be a little bit more sure of the shot, right? Like, this is your first shot. You can't spend forever lining this up and be like, I won't fire until I have the 100% perfect shot. But this is a miss. This is a miss. And you would like your first shot to be pretty high accuracy.
Yeah.
Early on the Wraith. So remember, you might be like scared of the self-destruct here. That might be a thing that's like really scary to you, but it takes time before it goes off. Maybe it's the soldier that's scary to you, but he can't hit headshots because he's using tac visors. And it might be the lava that's scary to you, but I still think you're okay. Like, I would have preferred to hold this Wraith until you got just a little bit lower health or the self-destruct was a little close to going off. Are we still going to use it? Probably.
Die.
Round
Let's keep it rolling.
initiating match. Initiate. Ready for battle.
And we're back on the crit.
Yes. Finish strong. So here my team decided to all stack up in that room. I had no idea what to do. I didn't want to be alone, so I just went with him.
I wouldn't worry about being alone. Because here's the thing. Who can punish you for being alone? Things that can punish you for being alone. I don't know, maybe a bunch of dive heroes or a widow. Does that
The
sound like a
diva,
fair
they've been
list?
running diva, yeah.
Okay. Walk me through how this diva is going to get to you. There's totally ways. Like she could go, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
walk
Go.
up here, I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna dive like this. Yeah, that's an option. But generally, when the opposing team is pretty far away, even if they're dive heroes, you can afford to be split, and having your different angles is pretty good. This isn't really different angles because like you're here, they're here, you can't even see them. Sure, go join your team.
Usually I would feel safer being alone, but they were all on a high ground, so like I can't drop down to them. I would like
Sure. I get
so
it.
just put me in a weird situation. That's
It
all.
does. It does. You're not that vulnerable here. You do have the cover, and they can see you. And the truth is, I think it's very unlikely that Diva's going to walk past them to come get you before these guys have retreated. But if you want to join the forward hold, that's just fine.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I thought this was so stupid, but
Stop the payload.
It almost looks like you guys are trying to be ready to run out and ambush them. Like we're gonna run them over.
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing or
But
what we're doing.
You don't have a Lucio, and they do, so I expect this to go quite poorly. And you've also got a McCree and a Hanzo. Yeah, okay, and a Mercy. This is not a comp for running them over. And then you open with a Fire Strike. Okay.
Oh, I think he dropped. Yeah.
Yep. Okay. Okay. Oh, look, a Widow. Not quite sure what that was.
No, I don't know.
Good. This is probably a walk up the flank situation. This was probably a go through the cave and walk up the flank situation. So here we are. I just don't like how this has gone. Like, my Reinhardt's down. I don't like this fight. I think their momentum, they've got good forward momentum. I feel like we're losing. Do you feel like we're losing?
I did feel that way at this point, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to cut bait, not in get out, but and go, hey, let's just go through here and see if it's going to be a time investment to go through here. And my team could lose harder while I'm missing, but I've got a very decent chance of getting 2-3 eliminations by then walking back here. And we need to get back into this fight. When we're behind, we get more interested in taking risks because, you know, we're behind. Yeah, you're not going to win this with standard play at this point. Okay. I mean, yeah. Is it the tracer swap? No, it's still the crit.
Yeah, I want to get his ult
Yeah, no, I'm
at this
good.
point.
Oh yeah, need that high value high noon.
Yeah, it's a beauty.
Excuse me? Excuse me? You're just hoping she can't aim. You're literally just hoping that she can't aim. You rejoined this fight. You took no notice of where the Widow was. You took no stock of the Widow. You in no way went, I need to force that Widow behind cover or eliminate her before I can fight. You just went, I'm going in. You didn't go, I'm fighting from here where she can't see me. You literally just went, I'm going in. We have to pay her some respect. They will get good enough where they punish you for this. McCree shooting at you. You do realize. Okay.
A little too late, yeah.
Yep.
Analytical mind.
Just trying to get some ult charge, man. That's all. That's the game plan.
Okay.
Overtime.
I really like this. It's such a predictable peak. Oh, they've swapped off the Widow. Never mind. You're fine. There you go. There you go. Bonus points for flash banning him. Helps tilt him.
Yes.
Dead eyes ready.
Was that a Sombra?
Yo, dang!
I saw Sombra. No, like before that. Like, did you see it too? Or
Yeah,
no?
yeah. No, I see
Oh,
what
there
you're
she
saying.
is, yeah.
Yeah. That's why I was saying dang, because I thought you'd actually triggered her for a moment. I was like, did you actually get her? But no, you didn't.
No, would have been nice.
I thought you, for a moment, had got her, but not
Don't
seen that you'd
move.
gotten her and walked away. Okay.
Going for it.
Okay, I see that, but you need that Moira to push forward for this to work.
Only
Yep.
got one, but yeah. It worked. We had
That's
a
it. It
grab
works just
dragon.
fine. Yeah. Okay. So looking at these, things that we were going to talk about are going to be somewhat general because you played a lot of heroes, but a lot of them are going to pay off on multiple heroes. So first off, we obviously saw your Reaper, your Kree, and your Hanzo, and even Tracer to a lesser degree, are going to, well, really Overwatch heroes are going to get a benefit from better crosshair placement. And we talked about that a lot. I think you just need to understand, hey, I should be thinking about what is the place an enemy is most likely to appear. When I'm walking here, it's right here. If as soon as there's nothing there, I can tilt it down here. But you want to have your crosshair in the place where an enemy is most likely to appear, especially when you're playing Hanzo. And an enemy appearing might be you making an enemy appear. It might be, okay, I'm going to charge up my bow and make an enemy appear type thing. But I'm going to hold it at, their neck, their upper body, their head, height, etc. for most heroes on where I expect them to be. Even if you're wrong, it's going to be a smaller adjustment for you, and that's going to be faster and easier for you to make. So that's the first thing, and that's just going to help you be better at Overwatch heroes in general. So that'll be great. The second thing that we're going to be thinking about a bit here is going to be, we do still want to be thinking about our angles. There's still a little too much, hey, I'm going in on the same, I'm on the same angle as my team and they can all resist me, and I don't really like that. I would much prefer that I have my angle, whatever the case may be. I would like you to be thinking a little bit harder about the angles. The Tracer, I don't want going straight in. I want walking up the side and coming in from the side. And you don't have to use a bunch of blinks to get to the side, though you can if you're coming back from spawn, or if the opponents are, coming back from spawn. If you know it's going to be a fair bit before the fight, that's fine. But mostly you just walk up the flanks and take them. You try to use less blinks as you get closer to the fight, and we go for the angles. We don't go at things head on as Tracer, but we also, if we can avoid it, don't go at things head on as McCree. We're happy to go, oh hey, I'll fight head on if I have to, but if I can pre-set up on an off angle, if I can take an off angle with a short investment, if maybe it takes a little bit longer of an investment, but we're behind and I need to try to make a risky play to get us back into the fight, this is a pretty relatively low risk for its reward type play to go in these. So I still want you thinking about how can I engage from these angles on all of these heroes that you were playing. That's going to be a thing. And even your Reaper, I don't want you just walking forward like this. If you're walking forward like this, you're doing it wrong. You can walk forward with your Rhine Shield. Once you're fully in the brawl, you might go forward. You might take an angle a bit and shoot sort of in the middle without real cover, but at least to the side a bit compared to your Reinhardt. But you're not just walking forward in front of your team like that. You're thinking, I'll use this angle. I'll use this angle. That's what you're thinking. The team with more angles wins, and every hero you played here is going to benefit in, they benefit slightly differently, but they can all benefit from you thinking more seriously about this angle thing. And then we get into more micro stuff for each individual hero. I still don't like how you use your forward roll less, but more how you use your Hanzo leap to rotate through spots. It is only a 5-second cooldown, but you mostly, like Tracer blinks, don't want to use it, or you want to be very conservative with it, to get into fights, to get 2 spots faster if it's still going to be on cooldown when you're then in the fight. So we don't really want to hop through. In most situations, we don't want to hop through here to get into the fight faster. especially if it's not like if the engagement timing isn't perfect anyways. We might occasionally be like, I'm going to hop to change my spot to get the grab dragon off, to get the dragon for the grab, but most of the time we'd rather go here and have the hop available to get us out. We'd rather walk here with McCree and have the roll available either to sustain us on it for more ammo or to help get us out, not to take the angle in the first place in most situations. With your Reaper, you're speaking of movement abilities. Okay, enough on that topic.
Yeah.
And on your Tracer, we could talk about it more like we talked about your blinks and how we want to use those, preferably to sustain in fights. If we try to go in, we're going to get them all forced, and we, while going up to sides, would prefer like when fight by distance and time is a long ways away, we can afford to use more blinks to position. When we get closer to a fight, we don't really want to use blinks to get into the fight to go in. We mostly want to go, hey, I'm using blinks as dodges. And as we get lower on blinks, we get more extreme in the blinks or dodges thing. That doesn't mean there's no situation ever where you'll double blink into a fight. Those will happen as parts of coordinated dives. Those will happen to finish people off, etc. But those are the exception, not the rule. You rarely are using your blink purely for movement in a fight. You're using it mostly as a dodge. Well, you're using it as a dodge and leaning towards movement when you can, like you're dodging in a direction to get you closer to the thing that you would actually like to have, be that cover, be that a specific opponent, etc. So
when you did see that,
Mhm.
I was rushing to that bastion. I wanted to get to him as soon as possible. I don't know
Okay.
if that was the right thing, but that's what I was thinking. Like, get to him as soon as possible so he does the least amount of damage.
But you're still going to need to probably be able to sustain in the fight. Yes, you could double blink in on a Bastion. I don't remember that time. I'm thinking more of some of the other ones, but
Okay.
maybe I'm just misthinking of it. Yeah, you could double blink
It
at a
was at the
Bastion.
end of the fight, like
Okay.
when I was walking straight into that Orisa, and
Okay.
then it happened like right after that. Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. That might be right. I don't remember. That's fine.
Okay.
You could blink at a Bastion, but you'd also prefer, if you're using a blink for movement, you're using it through open dangerous space, not through the closed safe space where there's no sight lines on you. But hey, I think that's probably a lot of stuff to give you. A lot of it is transferable between all of your heroes though, so it should be
Yeah, relax,
digestible.
man. I'm still working on my first game stuff.
All good,
Sonic
all
Arrows.
good. No problem. And yes, you are still working on Sonic Arrows.
Yeah, no, the whole crosshair placement thing, like I'm better than that. I don't know
Okay.
what was wrong with this game, but yeah.
Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough.
I'll do better, man. I'll do better.
I believe you. I believe you. You're going to do better. You're going to do better.
Yes.
Okay. Then I think that's going to do it. Any final questions from you?
I felt like I was struggling a little bit with the double shield turret. Is there anything you think I should have taken some long flanks or?
I would like you to destroy the turret faster in general.
Yeah. Okay, but if the turret's behind like a shield, like.
Sure.
And you saw like my pathing. I kept going through that tunnel.
I did.
That was probably wrong.
So here's the thing about a turret. So a turret does have an effective range, and you can certainly beat that effective range in some positions with Hanzo. Hanzo can go, hey, I can just beat this.
Yeah.
Hanzo's also got a pretty good ability to peek and just fire fully charged arrows and then unpeek and be like, turret? What turret? It's not doing any damage to me as I break this shield. So like Hanzo's got a pretty good ability to challenge those and to be like, I just don't care. This is not barrier watch anymore. I can break your barrier, then break the turret without much threat. I just need to watch the Orisa halts. Like, that's not too bad. McCree has it a little bit rougher, and you can do, hey, I'm going to go take the angles type stuff, but even when it comes to the turret, like, some of this stuff is just like, oh, let me actually deal with the turret now that I'm here type thing. Like, my issue with the turret wasn't that it was like, oh, it's hard to deal with because of the shield. Yeah, you don't have to, like, all in to eliminate the turret, but, like, don't go looking to chew off more. Like, don't constantly, leave the turret for last. Like, you don't want to be in a situation where it's like, now there's 5 people on my screen in a target-rich environment. No. I'll put myself in a situation where there's one target on my screen and nothing else can see me. So, like, I know I'm not giving you the answer to exactly the question you want, but the thing is, the question you want is sort of like, it doesn't have to be a like above all else remove the turret, or oh I need to break those barriers to remove the turret. You just need that turret dealt with when you're going in. This to break the turret could have been fine. This to break the turret wasn't necessarily an issue. If you'd the very first time just been like, I'm dragon striking this, I actually wouldn't have objected. I objected that you did it the second time because Graf was closer then.
Yeah.
And then some of this other stuff back here, I don't remember exactly what it was. I just remember seeing the turret at the end of the fight over here. Sorry.
Okay.
Okay. I think that's going to do it then.
That'll do it.
Cool. Let me end this guy.